Listen, you're about to gain access to 12 months of verified results that demonstrate how to bag yourself £317 profit per match day betting to £50 level stakes. I've set myself up nicely for a stress-free year by easily banking over £61,845 last season. The selection process responsible for these profits have taken me over 12 years to master and will take you just 5 minutes to take advantage of. But before we go any further, I warn you now, this is strictly limited. Only the first 100 punters will gain early bird access. The rest will have to fork out the full £500 for a matchday money season ticket. Now, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Scott Kerr, but the lads call me the Colonel. Football's been my life since my dad took me to my first Fulham match some 22 years ago. We beat Chester 1-0 at the Cottage in the old Division 2. A couple of years later, I started having a dabble. I'd take my pocket money, get my dad to bang it on a Fulham win every weekend. What was I thinking? By the time the January transfer market opened in my first full season as a pro punter, I was walking out of the bookies with around £270 most weekends. I nipped to William Hill on the Greyhound Road to place my bets, then pop across the street to grab some snap at the Pear Tree. Nursing a pint, I'd watch the games with the lads and cheer every other goal as the full-time results came in and filled my pockets up. Then it was back across to the bookies to pick up my winnings. I was making more money watching 90 minutes of Sky Sports 1 on a Saturday than I used to make working like a dog for 40 hours a week down the factories in Hammersmith. But enough about me. Let me give you a little insight into how you too can profit from these weekend winners. It's common knowledge most people base football selections in particular on the form book. This makes perfect sense, and I'm all for using form as a focal point in the selection process. The problem is, most punters look at form as a statistic based in the past, rather than part of the predictable pattern that's ongoing. Simply accounting for the team's results in 5 most recent matches doesn't count for much, even when you consider a team's home and away form alongside other factors like suspensions and injuries. It will count for nothing if you don't understand the hidden patterns behind it. For instance, a team riding an unbeaten streak is more likely to play for a draw away from home, even if they're favourites. Whether the players are conscious of it or not, this is a statistical fact. Therefore, favourites away from home can often have huge value odds of 3.9 and upwards for a match that is relatively likely to end up even. It's understanding these underlying form patterns that's enabled me to rack up a rock-solid 74% win rate. However, it's not just a steady win rate and generous average odds of 2.2 that make matchday money the must-have season ticket. The secret weapon that makes matchday money the must-have season ticket is our pick of the week. Our pick of the week is so powerful, we double our usual level stakes. Our strike rate on the season was 74% overall, but our pick of the week strike rate was over 93%. In the last month of the season alone, we had Liverpool beat West Ham at Upton Park, Chelsea beat Swansea at the Liberty, Spurs beat our Fulham at the Cottage, West Brom beat West Ham at the Hawthorns, Newcastle beat Cardiff at St James, and Sunderland coast by West Brom at the Stadium of Light. 6 selections, 6 wins with no losses, all within the last month of the season, resulting in 9.58 points, or £2,395 tax-free profits. And just to make sure you're in the same boat once you sign up, I've been giving my selections to a handful of mates each week so they can get the drinks in for once, and they've had just as much fun using it as I have. They're new to betting, at least on a weekly basis. They started off putting £20 per bet down, apart from Jim, who does all right as a banker. He's been putting £100 a bet down. In the last 3 months of the season, Jim banked £4,390. The rest of them either stuck with a £20 a bet to keep the missus asking no questions, or gradually built it up and earned between £878 and £2,720. Not bad for a bunch of Chelsea fanboys. Last season, we covered 178 matches, winning 132 to bag ourselves over 123 points in profit to level stakes. The only time we ever deviate from a stable level stakes investment plan is when we double up on our golden pick of the week. As I said before, growth is king, and that's why I've developed a tiered selection process by which I can trial new additional filters on the side without damaging our actual selections. I paper trade variations of the formula, and when a variation is outperforming our current model for over a month, I update our selection process and push our winnings even higher. Now, I'm going to show you how to make an average of around 4 to 5 points profit per match day, all without having to know a single thing about football. That's £80 to £100 for 5 minutes worth of placing bets, even with tiny £20 stakes. Each match day morning, I'll blast you an email with a day's selections and occasionally an additional breakdown of our strategy behind those particular selections, so you grow to understand how we're making so much money together, rather than winning blind. I'm booked for a stress-free year watching football. Now you've got the same opportunity to buy yourself some me time and actually make some money whilst you're doing it for once. Just remember, there's only 100 spots for early birds. Only 100 of you get this for the crazy start of the season discount. As soon as we're over the threshold, the price is back to £500 for a season ticket or £97 for your monthly pass. And I don't want you to fork out more than you have to. It's time to make a positive decision. Your team might not win the league this season. Hell, they might even get relegated. But at least you can make some money whilst you show your support and not worry about affording tickets to the game. So go check last season's results for yourself to see just how much money you're about to make. Then click Add to Cart to earn some matchday money. Signing off, your friend and fellow punter, the Colonel.